G'day guys, and welcome back to the final episode of our Bournemouth rebuild, episode number 5, and let's see where we can take this, because at the moment it started off pretty damn well. But before I get into the schedule and the results and everything that's been going on, there is a little bit of a surprise from last season that I didn't expect, but it's a pleasant surprise, to be sure. We are in the Champions League. How are we in the Champions League when I was only in the Europa League spots? I shall show you. So, we have a look at the league table, look at last season. 6 teams qualified for the Champions League because Liverpool went on and won the Champions League that season, which therefore they qualified automatically through winning it and knocked their qualification spot through the coefficiency points down to me, because I finished next, which meant Europa League football for Spurs and Leeds and Conference League football for Everton. So we had 9 English teams in European football for this season coming, and Champions League football for us. And even better was we didn't even have to qualify. We went straight into the league phase, which I was absolutely stunned by. And speaking of which, season has started off brilliantly. 5-1 home win against Man United. Gravenberch, Traore, Fofana with 2, and Miranda. 2-0 away win at Villa, Gyökeres and Fofana. 2-2 draw at Spurs. Proper wound me up that did. Harry Kane with, I believe, a little chip over the goalkeeper in the 88th minute for them to equalise. But Miranda and Gyökeres again scoring. 1-0 home win against Everton. We struggled a little bit there. Fleetwood completely changed around team for that one. But in fact, I could show you the team on that. So yeah, we had quite a few new signings who I'll show you in a second. Esteval starting, Naipan starting as well. As you can see, I've got Malero now, so I'll show you that in a second. So yeah, 6-0 win in the Carabao Cup, which is great. 3-1 away win in the Premier League again. Naipan doing the business, but then goes and screws it all up with a red card. Lunging challenge. Then Champions League phase. First game, Trabzonspor, 3-0 home win. Vitinha, Fofana and Doyle. Doyle I've been playing a little bit more because he got a little bit whingy. He wasn't playing enough games, okay? But to be fair to him, he's pulled it out of the bag. And then a 4-1 home win to Chelsea as well. So, overall, we have started the season very, very well. We're top of the league, 16 points, 5 wins, 1 draw. And Man City, who spent 250 million on Jude Bellingham, are down here. So I'm quite happy with that. Financially wise, okay, overall balance not looking the best. Transfer budget is all over the place, but as you'll see, transfer wise, there's been a lot of movement again. Clivert went 40 million to Saudi Arabia. Windal left because I was having a little bit of issue. There's a new thing on FM24 as well for work permits in Premier League. If you can't get a work permit for your player, you can appeal it, and then they come back to you, and I don't quite understand it, but they come back with a position which is called ESC. I don't know what it stands for, but you get 4 ESC slots in your squad, which I think is like an emergency work permit sort of thing. And if they play enough through that season, they can qualify for a full work permit. Soppy and Windal didn't do that because Miranda and Livramento just kept them out the side. So I ended up selling both of them, got my money back, made a little bit of money actually on a couple on both of them. So it's fine, that's absolutely fine. But I did strengthen the side again. Big one, 58 million on Vitinha. I wanted somebody to challenge Gyökeres. I didn't want him to rest on his laurels, and I wanted another really good striking option. And Vitinha, as another pressing forward, he's outstanding on the game. So he's had a bit of a slow start, only 1 goal so far, and that was a penalty. None in the Premier League, but his overall work rate and average rating, brilliant. No complaints on that side. With Windal and Soppy going, it meant I needed a right back and a left back, so I brought in Baselli, who can actually play across all 3 positions. I thought that was perfect. Young Uruguayan comes in from Gladbach, but he was actually at Burnley. I never actually realised that. And Gladbach made a loss on him, so I was quite happy with that, to be fair. A regen, Franco Fabro, with probably one of the best permed afros I think I've ever seen on a regen face. It looks awesome. But he is a left back. He's a young left back, and he's got a lot of potential on this game by the looks of it. Got him from AC Milan, so obviously he's come through their youth system. 5.5 million. Again, great little bit of business. These two here, not my business. My director of football going off on one and just wanted to buy crappy young players. I don't know why. Just a quick check, because I did get some more done towards the end of the season before the tick over. So I brought in this guy, Thomas Leclerc, regen, 18-year-old centre back, and look at those stats for a regen. Potential ability, 5-star. As an 18-year-old, I was like, yeah, that's definitely one for the future. Good coverage. 32 million from Lens. Played 1 game, 7.4. No complaints there. Then I brought in another striker, Mohamed Aduru, another regen. He's gone out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday, and I thought as a pressing forward, mentals and physicals at the age of 18 are absolutely outstanding. Technicals, just his finishing needs a little bit of working, but he'll get that in time. I think he'll be an absolutely outstanding striker on this game. Then I needed a backup keeper, somebody who was a little bit more solid than Travis, because I think Travis actually left, if I remember rightly. Can't remember when he did, but he was our backup keeper and he left, so I went and got this guy in for 6 million. He was happy to come in as a backup keeper. He's pretty decent, so he'll do. That's fine. And then I wanted somebody else to replace Cliver, so I went for one of the most well-known wonder kids on the game, Alberto Malero. And again, what more can you say about him? Anybody who's been playing this game for a while will know about him. He's been around the block. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. All in all, 85 million spent, so it's a good amount of money. We have a look at our squad. Yeah, looking at it a little bit light, but I think that's just because I played a match. If we have a look at actually the tactics and have a look at the best 11, and that's our best 11 as it stands at the moment. So, all in all, I'd say that's a very strong team with a very, very strong bench as well. I'm very happy with that, to say the least. So, as per usual, our simulator season, and fingers crossed we can actually get a final bit of silverware before we finish this off, and then at the end of the simulation, do a little recap and see where we're at. So, I'll see you in a few seconds. Welcome back, guys, and there we have it. 7th place finish outside the European spots, but I don't know what is going on with the European spots there. That's odd. What's happened there? We've lost a European spot somewhere along the line. Have we got coefficiency points somewhere? That's very strange. But either way, yeah, that draw, 4-4 draw at Chelsea, and by the looks of it, that 3-1 away loss at Everton, dropping those 4 points has cost us going into European spot. That's a bit annoying. And looking at this, looks like Leeds and Aston Villa have got European spots, which means we haven't won any silverware by looks of. That's annoying. Finalists and losers of the FA Cup. Semi-final by Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. Did get to knock out playoff round again in the Champions League, so that's something. And another 23 goals in the league this season from Gyökeres. So, yeah. We'll have a look at the squad. Oop, so, yeah, 29 goals all in all from Victor. 16 from Vitinha, who obviously didn't play as much as Gyökeres. Fofana got 12 and 12. 11 from Malero. 11 from Gravenberch. 9 and 9 from Ryder. Drago coming. He's progressed a lot, and he's actually wanted now by Milan. £100 million player, important player, potential abilities going through the roof. Yeah, he's going to be a kid in real life who's going to be one to watch. Miranda again, 8 goals, 6 assists, played virtually every game this season by the looks of it. 58 games all in all. It's a busy season. So yeah, all in all, how did Alex Scott go? 4 and 4, but he's playing deeper now, so I think all in all, that's not too bad. So here we are at the end of 5-season rebuild of Bournemouth. When you think back to episode 1, we started off the club board. We were massively in debt. The board wanted us to avoid relegation and becoming a yo-yo club. But in these 5 years, we've had a top half finish every single season. Won the Charity Shield, Community Shield, whatever you want to call it. Won the European Cup. Been in the Champions League twice. Europa League once. I think that can be considered a successful season. I think, speaking of the finances as well, let's have a look at it. Debt is almost gone, which is even better. I think if I did another season like that, I could get rid of that. Wage budget has gone astronomical, but that's not surprising considering the calibre of players that are in the squad now compared to what it was at the start of the rebuild. So all in all, even though I would have liked to have won a little bit more silverware, and we came very close with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup on this season, I think that's a good, successful 5-year rebuild for a club that still, let's have a look at the club info, still is in its old stadium, just, where is it? Where are the facilities? Next month, due to go into that new stadium, the 25,000 seat stadium, which would bring in more money. But got excellent training facilities now, got good youth facilities, adequate academy coaching. So I think once we're into, if I did another season, I would push for better youth recruitment and facilities, without a doubt. But overall, I think it's a big success. If we had a look at some of the players that I signed right at the start of the rebuild, namely this guy, Victor Gyökeres. If you do a real world, if you take anything away from this and you do the real world save before this guy moves from Coventry to Sporting in Portugal, get him. That would be my recommendation, is get him, because he will guarantee you goals every single season. Okay, he had a bit of a blip that season, but his injury hit. It was very disrupted, but 28 league goals there, 15 there, 18 there, 23 there. Overall, 29 in that season, 20 there. He still got 16 in that season, 33 in that season, and 30 there. He will get you goals, and he's been here the entire time, 5 years, very successful. Again, a couple of other players that have been around since the start. Livramento, I know he's at Newcastle now, but again, he's an option that you could get because he's with Southampton, and I think they just got on the real world, they just got relegated. So you should be able to get him for around about 30 million. Another player is Abanier. He was brought in the season before, but he has near enough been an ever-present. Great centre-back. No complaints whatsoever. Who's another one that's been around pretty much the entire time? Fabian Ryder. Oh, look at his mentals. Just okay, his physicals, he can get bullied a little bit in the centre midfield, but his technicals and his mentals are amazing. Again, 5 years here, just look at the consistency. He is a player that I would recommend to anybody. And then I'd say finally, of my own signings, Miranda. Juan Miranda, what a left back you are, sir. Technicals, mentals, physicals, all spot on. Consistency, picking up the goals, picking up the assists, average rating. It's all good. It's all good. The game, obviously, they'd already brought in a couple of players. Cliver was one of them, but the one that did stick around most and played his way into the team was Traore, and he's just developed even more. He's brilliant. It's worth nearly 120 million now, which is ridiculous. And again, permanent signing there, so that's where it started. And again, looking at the consistency, really good inside forward, no complaints. So there you have it, folks. That's the end of the 5-season rebuild for Bournemouth. I would consider that to be pretty successful. I've just noticed there actually, we were top of the league all the way to there and then just dropped off. Obviously just couldn't keep it going. We were top of the league all the way to, I'd say probably through just over a third of the season. It's pretty good going. So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for sticking around for this rebuild series. If you have liked the video, please leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel. There'll be plenty more of these videos. I'm going to be doing a lot of shorts on Wonder Kids on the game and things like that. There's also going to be more rebuilds for clubs that are struggling in real life, because they're the ones that I enjoy doing. I think the game is a little bit too easy if you're just doing the likes of Man City and Chelsea and Man United and Liverpool and all that sort of stuff. Not to say I won't do them eventually, but I prefer a challenge. Ones like this for Bournemouth, or the previous one for Aberdeen, so I do like a challenge. And if you enjoy those sort of challenge videos, then please keep on tuning in. But there is also going to be a year-long one when the game comes fully out on the 6th of November. There is going to be a year-long one until FM24 comes out, based around Tranmere, which I'm going to be working on very, very soon. So please tune in for that as well. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.